I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer it honestly to yourself. When was the last time you were okay? Not functioning, not handling it, not being the person everyone relies on, actually okay. Most men I know can't answer that. I couldn't. I used to be a guy that ran into burning buildings and responded to car accidents and other traumas and emergencies. If you're watching this and you've been telling yourself you're fine, this video is for you. There are 5 reasons that men fall apart in silence, and I've lived every single one of these. I look at these as the 5 pillars of men's mental health. Pillar number 1, identity. And here's where I'm going to say something that might sting a little. Most men don't know who they are. They know what they do, they know what role they play, the provider, the protector, the one who handles things that everyone comes to when they need help. But strip that away, and there's often nothing underneath. It happened to me. When I left the fire department, I didn't realize how much of my identity I left there. Like I was still wearing the gear, still wearing the uniform, still riding the equipment. To this day, I still dream about being back on shift, and I miss it. It took me a while to realize that I didn't know who I was without that. I don't even think I learned the lesson. I carried it into relationships and my next career until I had to deal with it. Because here's what no one really tells us: roles end. They all end. Marriages, relationships, friendships, the job, you retire or you quit or you get laid off. Roles come to an end. And if your whole identity is built on that role, when that role comes to an end, so do you. First pillar of men's mental health is identity. It's knowing who you are underneath what you do, not a career, not a title, you. Because until you figure that out, everything else is just rearranging furniture in a burning house. And here's the thing about not knowing who you are: it makes you incredibly easy to silence. And that's where we come to pillar number 2, honesty over silence. This is the one that's killing men. Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly and quietly when everyone around you thinks you're fine. We're trained, especially my generation, and most of us from when we were young boys, to just handle it, deal with it, walk it off, rub some dirt on it. I'll give you something to cry about. We just couldn't express or share our feelings or emotions or anything that was causing us pain. That would be seen as weakness. You don't bring it up. You definitely don't burden anyone. You just deal with it. Just handle it and move forward. Stuff it down. Push through. And for a while it works. I mean, you become reliable, strong, the person everyone goes to, the person everyone relies on in your life. But here's what suppression actually does to a man over time: it doesn't make the feeling go away, it just makes it much harder and sometimes impossible to even locate it. A lot of times that will manifest in the body. I've been dealing with chronic pain for over a year now, or about a year, in both of my hips, different presentation. Neither one of them are from injuries. The only thing that has coincided with this chronic pain is a toxic relationship. I didn't have this pain until she started the push pull, the devaluation, eventually the discard. That's when the other hip started hurting. My body is keeping the score right now, so to speak. It's letting me know that I've got some things that I've stored and I've pushed down and I've suppressed that I need to fucking deal with. And here's something really scary: men die by suicide 4 times more than women. It's not because we feel more than they do, it's because we don't talk. We stay quiet. I mean, there's a difference between being private and then just choosing who you trust to talk to, and then just suppressing everything and acting like everything's fine when it's not. You wind up burying it so deep that it becomes invisible. Being honest with yourself isn't weakness. If you can just talk to one person that you trust, just one, that can change the whole chemistry of what you're carrying. You don't need a therapist on day one. You just need one honest conversation with someone you trust. But here's what I've learned about that: even when a man's ready to talk, we start to realize that our body has been keeping the score for months or even years or decades. And that's where we come to pillar number 3, The body's been keeping the score the whole time. Pillar number 3 isn't about fitness. Most men will hear fitness or movement or exercise around the topic of mental health, and we think, oh, just go to the gym and crush it. We want to be in the gym. We want to look good. We want to feel good. But the body, when we talk about mental health, we're talking about something completely different. What we're talking about is how the body has been storing everything that you've been avoiding for years, everything you haven't wanted to feel or wanted to process. Body is keeping all that inside. Maybe it's the body fat you've been trying to shake, but you can't seem to no matter what you try. The tension that lives in your shoulders and your neck, the chronic headaches, the nights that you can't sleep, the distractions you reach for, food, screen time, alcohol, all to just drown out the noise just a little bit, turn that volume down just a little bit. That isn't a discipline problem. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do when your mind won't deal with something. I mean, I mentioned my chronic pain, no injuries associated with it. The toxicity starts in the relationship. One hip starts to hurt. We kind of go through this push pull in the summer. I get discarded, and during the discard, I'm hurting terribly. I mean, I'm in a really dark, bad place. The other hip starts to hurt. The thing is I knew that relationship was unsafe for me. I knew it was bad for me. I knew the way I was being treated was wrong. But my mind wouldn't listen to what my body was trying to tell it. The third pillar is about treating your mind like it's connected to the body because it is. It's the same system: sleep, movement, what you put in, not as punishment, as information and respect for the body that you live in. When you start taking care of the body, the mind gets a little bit quieter. And when the mind gets quieter, you start to hear some of what you've been drowning out. And what men are drowning out is often the thing that's doing the most damage. Pillar number 4, relationships. And this is the one people have a hard time looking at, especially men. We're taught to endure, to be loyal, to stay, to handle whatever comes, no matter what, no matter how much we lose ourselves in the process. We're not taught to evaluate whether or not a relationship is safe for us. We spend years, sometimes our entire adult lives, giving everything to relationships that are taking everything we have. We call it love, we call it commitment. Sometimes it is, but then sometimes it's just a man who was never taught that he was allowed to have needs too. I mentioned the toxic relationship that I dealt with over the last year, but I was also in a long term, almost pretty much 3 decade relationship, marriage. And this person's the most wonderful human being I think I know, or at least one of them. So the relationship itself, the marriage itself was not bad, but this person was slowly destroying herself. And I had to sit by and watch it. No matter what I tried or what I said or what I did, it just didn't help. It didn't register and it didn't cause any kind of change at all. I abandoned myself a lot in that dynamic because I wasn't holding the boundary that I said I would hold. Instead, I acted out and I went into this other situationship where the first few months were amazing. I mean, the chemistry was off the charts. It was incredible. I hadn't experienced anything like that. And the way she idealized me, it wasn't even about an ego boost. It was really more like I felt seen, heard, understood, and loved. And then the push pull starts. The toxicity starts. The abuse starts. Verbal, psychological, and emotional abuse. There's no two ways about it. There's no other word to use for it. And it's any wonder why I sit in chronic pain, blood pressure through the roof sometimes, most of the time. Can't sleep. Sleep is dog shit. But the good thing is I started to realize that's what was causing all of this. Some of it I knew. The sleep I kind of figured, you know. But it's when I really started to think about myself and how much I wanted to honor the body that God gave me and honor this life that I've been given. And no matter how hard the decision is, that I have to end relationships that are causing me to abandon myself so that I can address this chronic pain. Because the two biggest things out of that, well, really three, were that I abandoned myself, I started to have to deal with chronic pain that I didn't have before that relationship. And I lost my identity, didn't know who I was. So, pillar number 4 is about learning the difference between a relationship that challenges you to grow, become more self aware, to be more growth minded, or one that causes you to shrink, abandon yourself, and disappear. You can't love someone else into wholeness by destroying your own. And if you've been the strong, silent, enduring one in every relationship that you've had, I want you to hear this. That's not strength, that's a pattern, and patterns can be broken. But here's what I found: when your identity is gone, when you've been silenced, when your body is struggling, and your relationships have hollowed you out, there's one thing left. Pillar number 5 is purpose. Purpose is what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's what keeps a man on his feet moving forward. Not hustle, not even legacy, not building something impressive, just what gets you looking forward to tomorrow. Because here's the thing that doesn't get mentioned enough about men who lose purpose or lack purpose. They don't just get sad, they get dangerous to themselves. Purpose is what keeps you in the game when every other pillar is crumbling around you. Purpose doesn't have to be some enormous goal or changing the world. It just has to be real, and it has to be yours. Maybe it's the people who still need you. Maybe it's something you haven't even built yet. I'm making this video because I believe it's my purpose to share what I've been through. I'm just coming out of the fog of war in this toxic discard. And I was in a very dark place. I was not good, not mentally, not physically, not, I just was not doing really well, not doing good at all. And I'm healing and feeling a lot better. And I feel like I'm a novice who experienced this huge leap in self awareness and mental health and healing, that I think that I can help people who are still freshly in it or coming out of it. I don't have years of experience of coaching people who are healing from narcissistic relationships, and I'm not a licensed counselor that deals with relationships. So I don't have that level or experience and expertise on the subject, but I've lived it and it's fresh. And I have some things that have helped me that I've shared in other videos and that I will continue to share. That's why I'm doing this. Purpose isn't found, it's chosen. Usually in the darkest part of your life, when you have no reason to have a purpose or to go on. When we're at our depths, when we're at our lowest, that's when we often find our purpose. And it's usually through our pain. I asked you something at the beginning of this video. When was the last time you were actually okay? Here's what I know now. After everything, that question really isn't about, are you okay right now? It's really about whether or not you're honest with yourself about what okay actually looks like to you. 5 pillars: identity, honesty, body, relationships, and purpose. Not a cure, definitely not a checklist. It's a framework for paying attention before the wheels come off. If this hits somewhere real, share it with one man in your life because he probably needs it, and he most likely will never go searching for it himself. This video is to introduce you to those 5 pillars of men's mental health. It was more like a 32,000-foot view. I'm going to dive deeper into each of those pillars in the following videos. So stay tuned for my next one, where I'll go over pillar number 1 in more depth: identity. See you in the next one.